I wanted to do a quick video that covers one of the things that I teach in my basic handgun class, and that is the 4 stages of the trigger. So first I'm going to, and plus I wanted to do this because it gives me a chance to show off yet again my SIG 229 Legion, which I absolutely love this gun. So first I'm going to go through all the safety measures. Whenever we pick up a firearm, we want to do a clearance check, make sure that it is not unloaded. So as you can see me waving my hand. There's nothing in the chamber and no magazine. But for the purposes of what I want to do for this lesson, I am going to take this magazine, which has no live rounds, and place a dummy round into it so I don't have to deal with slide lock. Okay? So again, the gun has been cleared, and I am placing the magazine in and putting the slide into battery. All right? So one of the things I teach in the class is the 4 stages of the trigger. And what I want to really focus on is the trigger reset. The trigger reset is a big factor in determining how quickly you can get subsequent rounds off after your initial shot, after your initial break. The first stage of the trigger is generally considered the slack, and that's that give that you have in the trigger without any resistance. So we want to learn how to press back on the slack, particularly for new students. What I train them to do is to take up the slack so that they don't have to deal with that full extension on the trigger. So that they're only dealing with, once they get to the wall, which is the second stage of the trigger, the wall where you feel that resistance before you've broken the shot. So again, as you see, there's some give there. That's what we call the slack. Then we put our finger right in the middle, place the middle part of the finger right on the trigger, the middle part between the fingertip and the first crease or joint in general, right? So taking out the slack, now I have resistance there. I am now at the wall. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoothly, and this again is how I instruct my new shooters. I want to smoothly, without jerking the trigger, which would then take my sights off of alignment. Then I'm going to smoothly press back, and the slide will cycle. Now I'm keeping hold of the trigger at the break point just for the demonstration. The slide will then cycle, and now I'm just going to slowly release until I hear that the reset click. Right there. Right there is the reset. That's stage 4. I can take my next shot right there without coming all the way out back to first position on the trigger. And that's one of the reasons that I spent as much money as I did on the SIG Legion 229, because that trigger reset is just really quick, really quick. Just to demonstrate again, take out the slack. Feel resistance, I'm at the wall. I then press back smoothly. The slide will cycle, takes out that shell, and reset right there. I can take my next shot. All right, slide cycles again. And now I've got slide lock because I only loaded 2 dummy rounds. Right there. So that's one of the things you might want to consider when you're purchasing a firearm for the first time. If you plan on carrying your firearm, even if you're a new shooter, or I don't care what, when you're shopping for a firearm, for a pistol, for semi-automatic, test that reset and see how that works for you. All you have to do, like I say, is press the trigger, cycle the slide. I got slide lock there because the magazine is empty. And then take your finger off slowly until you hear that click. And that will tell you how quickly you can take your subsequent shots with your firearm. Okay, so just for the sake of a comparison, I brought out 2 additional firearms just so we can see what differences there may be in that trigger reset. So I brought out the Glock 17. Again, doing a clearance check. There's no magazine in. We can see clear through it, and there's nothing in the chamber. Put it in the battery. This time I'm not going to deal with a magazine at all, just for expediency. All right, so finger on the trigger, take out the slack, hit the wall, press back, gun breaks, cycle the slide. Now we'll listen for the reset. Right there, not bad. Not as good as the Legion, but not bad. Now, as a last point of comparison, I've got a Springfield XD45 ACP. It's got tactical written on it. I'm not really sure what makes this gun tactical. I do know that for some reason it has a grip safety on it, which I'm not a huge fan of. I bought it just because I wanted another 45, one for students to practice on. So we're gonna put it in the back. Oh, let's do our clearance check once again. You can see through the breech, no magazine, nothing in the chamber. Put in the battery. I'm gonna take out the slack. A lot of slack in that trigger. Press back smoothly. Brake. Cycle the slide. And see, that has a very long trigger reset as compared to the Glock 17 and the SIG 229 Legion. But the point of this is to show you that you don't have to let the trigger come all the way to full extension or first position, whatever you want to call it, before taking that subsequent shot. That's what the trigger reset's all about. Hey, for more firearm fundamentals, please go to my YouTube page. You can go to YouTube and search on firstlevel_LWAG and check out some of the videos I have there. Also check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, everyone, that's all for today. Thanks.